Welcome back to Ceasefire, episode 20, destroying the divide through calm cultural conversations. If you're looking for a calm place to talk about all the insanity, like can AI be stopped? Well, then this is the podcast for you. We don't have the answers, but we're going to help maybe find them. And if you enjoy this kind of content, be sure to check out all of the extras at ceasefirepodcast.com. That's our Patreon. But subscribing and hitting the like button on YouTube also helps us. Once we can get memberships going here, that'll be a great way for you to get access to all that extra content. I'm joined by none other than Andrew, and I got to drag him down on the scene. He's sitting kind of high now. There we go. I had you like framed too high. We're going to be reacting to a video here. They're calling for a 6-month wait on AI.
This isn't not scary. Did I say that right?
It's almost like don't build Skynet. It's kind of like what this is.
That was the joke before we started the episode. It was like, holy cow, here comes Skynet. All right, let's see what's going on here.
So we've got a short video from Yahoo Finance. We're just going to kind of react to this. Part 2 is always us sort of trying to bring our beliefs and thoughts to bear on the subject matter, and we're gonna let this handsome guy here tell us what's going on from Yahoo Finance, because Elon Musk, or Elon, just pick a pronunciation. But he
change it?
I don't know. Everybody says it differently though, and I get annoyed.
Oh, okay. I would say Elon.
Let's just all change it to Ellen. Anyway, let's see what he has to say about this.
Elon Musk is urging us to push the pause button for 6 months on AI. In an open letter from the Future of Life Institute, Mr. Musk, along with Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak, 2020 presidential candidate Andrew Yang, and dozens of other tech leaders, writing, quote, "Powerful AI systems should be developed only once we are confident that their effects will be positive and their risks will be manageable."
Which coming from everybody except for the politicians, it seems like they shouldn't be developed until we can compete. You know what I'm saying? I'm reading this like it's a business letterhead, as opposed to a call on the government. I mean, what do you think here?
I think that statement makes complete and total logical sense, but I don't buy it as the motivation.
I can't help but relate this to, I've been covering the Microsoft Activision Blizzard acquisition in the gaming world, and I have said that AI will change gaming forever. It's already starting to, because there are systems that can develop the games for people, develop the worlds, develop the scripts, do the voices, right? Oh, you don't need voice actors anymore. Who needs a script writer? And that's how this reads in my mind is, oh yeah, we're going to need to be able to compete. This is going to be a commercially viable thing. Let's keep watching. I want to see what else they have to say.
These are certainly valid concerns, but Elon Musk, this guy might be the last person on the planet who should deliver this message. Take, for example, Tesla's fully autonomous driving program, the subject of a class action lawsuit before a San Francisco federal court. I asked ChatGPT what concerns it has about Elon's autonomous cars, and it told me, quote, "There have been several accidents involving them, some of which have been fatal. There are concerns the technology is not yet advanced enough to ensure safety for passengers and other road users." Chat cited legal and regulatory issues, even ethical concerns around how decisions will be made in situations where there are no clear ethical solutions. This letter also...
Wait, hang on a minute. Did he just consult an AI about another?
Yes.
What? So
if that isn't ironic.
He said, "Hey, you're an AI. What do you think about this other AI system over there?" Does ChatGPT feel like that AI is bigger than him? Like, is ChatGPT's dad going to beat up Elon's AI? Like, what is going on here?
Well, he just laid out in a matter of terms, if you kind of read between the lines there, what's really the issue here. It's about being first to market. And so Elon, it's pretty obvious his priority is being first to market. I mean, The reason why he has the capital that he has and the success that he has is because he's been responsible for innovations that have beat his competitors to the public commerce sphere. And basically what Chat GPT is saying there is he released a product that wasn't finished being developed and wasn't shouldn't have been released when it was, but he did it anyways.
Yeah.
Because of the almighty dollar. So that's really what's behind this, in my opinion. Because look at his track record. He's not concerned about releasing tech that isn't, that there are ethical concerns around, that there are legal concerns around, that there are developmental concerns around. He's concerned about being first to market. He wants to be the one who leads the charge.
Yeah.
And there are other entities out there that he's competing with that are probably ahead of him right now. That's just my reading between the lines, gut reaction to it.
Yeah, because the companies are already buying these AI systems. Like, it's already happening. Like, they're scooping them up and gobbling them up. I mean, I tried to point that out with Microsoft. I was like, these guys are not messing around. They want to fully integrate their software distribution with the cloud, and they want to operate the cloud and these software systems behind subscription walls. And if they can have AI coupled with all of that with respect to finding markets for better distribution, finding out how quickly people can have prices raised, how people will respond to that, you can have entire systems automated to price fix, to price match. Like, there's just so many ways to manipulate the market and have AI assist you with it. So, and then we're about to get into a whole nother element. We're not just talking about tech. We're not just talking about like gaming. He's getting ready to cite the next concern. I've expressed concerns about this as deepfake technology continues to get better and better. There were the deepfake pictures of like Donald Trump getting arrested, and there's the one of the Pope in a puffy jacket. They're fake. They're totally fake, and they don't look fake. So let's see where this goes.
Also asks, should we let machines flood our information channels with propaganda and untruth? Where have I heard that before? Has Elon scrolled Twitter since he took over? It's literally a breeding ground for propaganda and untruths. So maybe just sit this one out, Elon. As for a 6-month pause,
Well, hang on a minute, though. I'm not going to act like Twitter is some sort of a safe haven for truth and accuracy, but that doesn't mean that you can't be more concerned about the automation of it. Like, policing people on Twitter who are spreading, propaganda or misinformation or untruth, that is a concern, and that's nobody, I don't think, has really figured out how we're supposed to move forward with that. Because every time I'm on Facebook, right, somebody posts something, and it's like it's got a fact check beneath it or whatever.
Right.
And who's fact checking the fact checkers, right? I'm not trying to drive like some kind of paranoia here, but at the same time, it's like I think there's a giant difference between saying we need to come up with sensible administrative systems to monitor the distribution of truth or propaganda on a site the size of Twitter. That's nothing. That's a matchbook in comparison to what AI could do to a platform like that.
Or the internet in general. And whenever you get into regulatory conversations about any emerging technology or platform, the inevitable question is, well, who's going to regulate it? And the default is always the government. And as we both know, that's a bad idea. Giving the government control over the flow of all information, that is just a totalitarianism in a nutshell. So, but what's the alternative? What is the alternative? So what's going to win in the end, and this is always my argument, is the golden rule. He who has the gold makes the rules. It's one of my favorite moments in the film Aladdin is when Jafar in disguise makes that statement. But if there's money to be made off AI, that's what's going to lead the charge. Just like there was money to be made off social media. Nobody was sitting there calculating the lasting impacts it would have on society. It just dropped and everybody jumped on board, and we're still picking up the pieces. This is the way it goes with new technology.
Yeah.
And eventually it's going to swallow us all. That's my prediction.
Yeah, it'll. I don't think all those books and movies are imagining that would happen. I don't think they're wrong. I think they're on to something. So let's see where this goes.
How it looks, we don't know.
Yeah.
Is it going to be Skynet, or is it going to be some other Black Mirror episode? We don't know.
Yeah.
Consider that ChatGPT amassed 100 million active users in 2 months, the fastest growing consumer app ever. Pumping the brakes now on AI after the entire tech world has put the pedal to the metal is not feasible. It's the biggest investor story in years, maybe decades. Bill Gates himself just called it as fundamental as the creation of the internet or mobile phone. There is no putting this multi-billion-dollar genie back in the bottle. And Shauna, as the letter from Bill Gates wrote, we do need some meaning for guardrails here. But is Elon Musk the one that should be delivering this message? Maybe if he was not on that letter, I could take it more seriously.
Yeah, I am very
Pause it real
surprised.
quick. He makes a good point. It is very ridiculous that he's the one leading the charge on this, because it's very easy to see through where he's coming from. He does not care about the power of AI or the ethical concerns or the concerns for humanity. He's just trying to position himself to be the front runner again. That's the point I'll keep coming back to on this thing.
I am not an Elon Musk fanboy. Like, I know there's people that like worship him. I think he is brilliant. I think he's a visionary. I think in some measures he's almost prophetic. I think he can see where things are going because of how plugged in he is. Also, because of his aggressive nature in wanting to be at the front, he has to be good at predicting where things are going. That's why I think you would want him to be involved. You almost have to have a symbiotic relationship with a guy like him. I don't think you have him involved because you think he's being altruistic. I think you have him involved because of his expertise and because of just how much he has at his disposal with respect to if he's got the money to afford, the top engineers in the world and the top people to research something like this. So that's where I would think you'd want to have him involved. If you don't have him involved, that could actually be far more dangerous, because make him a rebel, you make him your enemy, I think could be far more destructive than have him at the table. I think you got to have him at the table personally.
Yeah, and the irony here is there's a lot of ironies in this piece. Everything he's saying is actually right on. It's accurate. It's true. Like, the concerns are valid. I just question his motivation for raising them. That's all.
Right. Sure.
And like you said, Dave, it is very ironic that he was one of the signees here of this letter, because you raise a good point. There certainly has been a lot of misinformation, a lot of concern about some of his technological advances in the past, a lot about what the information that he himself has put out on Twitter, that Twitter platform in general displays on a daily basis. But we've heard this nervousness, these questions about AI. We had the Chamber of Commerce, a representative from there, on the show a few weeks ago when they were urging for AI regulation. So I think there is a lot of merit to this argument, but you're right. Given the fact that so many companies are jumping on board here, given the fact that ChatGPT was extraordinarily popular, what'd you say, 100 million users by the end of January, that is just incredible and really shows the popularity and really the growth potential of this technology.
A little more irony. Elon Musk is one of the founders of OpenAI, which created ChatGPT. So he wants to kill his own monster in a sort of way. But look,
I don't think that's no. I think it's like anything. It's like somebody who makes one invention that leads to another and then says, "Oh, hold on a minute. This is an potential unintended consequence." I think the dilemma with this video is they're focusing too much on Elon. It's like, okay, if anything, the guy that planted the seed that grew into the monster, again, I think you want him at the table, right? Like, it would be like in the movie Jurassic Park, being like, well, the guy that helped all these dinosaurs come into being, we don't want to listen to you. Well, that's the person you maybe should be listening to, right? Like,
I was just thinking Jurassic Park too. It always comes back to Jurassic Park, everything, when it comes to this discussion. But he's not wrong. He's right. We should be questioning this stuff. Now, is it going to happen, or is the power structure of elites that are the decision makers of all the large governments and corporations that are involved in this discussion, are they all going to come together and resolve to push the pause button for 6 months? No. And all it would take is for one world power to not go along with it. And then that's the world power that's going to jump ahead of everybody else. It's like the nuclear arms race.
Yeah.
Cold War style, it's, I like actually that he's saying it. I just think it's impossible to put the cat back in the bag.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't think you can put it back in the bag. I think if we actually entertain the discussion, there should be an expedited oversight process here. I don't think you can start regulating it because you don't even know what you're regulating. You just have to assign some form of oversight committee to be watching and monitoring this and reporting and saying, okay, because I was talking about this today in my stream, because people they don't care. They think it's great. Go ahead and let Microsoft buy Activision Blizzard for $70 billion. And I'm pointing to all of the tech mergers and tech consolidation that's led to bad things for the consumer. And I said that the sun is rising and cresting over the hill. Like, the singularity is about to happen, because since January to now, AI is having a compounding effect on itself. We we don't even know the conversation that we're going to be having about AI in a month. We don't have any idea what it's going to be like, because it's compounding and advancing at such a rate. So at this point, the only thing you can do is watch and attempt to learn enough so that way you could make adjustments or regulations or something to keep this thing under control, because you got to think about, from everything from national security to just bank security to login security of any website that you use, this could be weaponized by the worst people in the world. The worst, the worst person that you could think of could weaponize this. So you got to put somebody at least monitoring it to start implementing, protecting. At the very least, you need things like, you need the banks, and you need personal information security on high alert, because
military.
Yeah, and military, because those would be the first places that people would try to weaponize this. That'd be the first places, is finance and military, and the stock market, I would think.
There are valid concerns about AI. Will they replace jobs? Certainly they will replace some jobs, but again, it's just too late to put this genie back in the bottle. So what they should be urging is meaningful guardrails, and the tech community to get together with government and figure this out, come up with some sort of council to figure it out, because pausing it is a ridiculous notion.
No, and even just look at the reaction that we saw in so many of the earnings reports, earnings calls from the last quarter. Most companies that mentioned AI, you saw that stock take off the next day. So it's something that's certainly resonating with Wall Street, resonating with investors, and I don't think any of those companies are going to be slowing down.
Just got an email from Open.
So that's good enough. This video is coming to an end. So
rank your 3 favorite films that involve a dark take on artificial intelligence.
A dark take on artificial intelligence? I mean, I think Terminator 2 is probably always at the top. Lawnmower Man, maybe?
Really? Deep cut.
Yeah, that was a good one. I can't see a lot of the ones that have AI now that like Her with Joaquin Phoenix. That wasn't like a dark take, I don't think.
I think it definitely was, because it's talking about the subject matter is in reference to the way that technology is isolating people from one another. and predisposing us to have a more difficult time in finding real relationships, which is a subject that really fascinates me. What about Ex Machina, bro? That one is so good.
What was the one with what's the one with Will Smith? Isn't it just called AI? The one where all the robots turn? I forget the name of that one.
iRobot.
Oh, iRobot. Yeah, iRobot. That one was pretty good. Wall-E was pretty good. I mean, that was basically about AI. The people got fat and let entertainment take over, and then they had all the computers caring for them.
Wall-E's a good one. Yeah, there are so many.
Like Wall-E is charming and yet deeply disturbing at the same time.
Totally.
The social commentary.
Which one hits the closest to home? Like, which one do you think is the most accurate? Like, I feel like Terminator is the most far-fetched.
Well, because Terminator is only far-fetched with respect to time travel. I don't think Terminator is far-fetched with respect to a militaristic disaster. Like, that's not far-fetched in my mind. Because who do you...
That's true.
The number one frontrunner right now that's trying to leverage AI, the military is always doing it before the tech world. So the military is probably already a year ahead, and we just don't know it.
We're forgetting the best film, The Matrix.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, because that was a militaristic disaster, and then they enslaved people. Basically, that's how it typically goes. Is that they'll try to enslave us.
I mean, I don't understand how you create artificial intelligence and then stop it if it decides to turn on you.
Well, this video I think is probably long enough for us to say, hey, check out part 2. The next video we're going to kind of get into what do our beliefs say about this, because I'm already thinking of like Thomas Aquinas's cosmological argument of a first cause. I mean, because like this could get really deep within metaphysical and spiritual beliefs about what in the world does this mean long term. So be sure to check that out. Also be sure to check out ceasefirepodcast.com. That is where you can support us directly. If you'd like to do that, because we actually, right now, the stuff on YouTube, this is all just totally free. We don't have a way of monetizing here. So make sure you're supporting there. Hit the like button, subscribe button, all the buttons. Thanks so much for checking out Ceasefire. If it's your first episode, we try to have calm cultural conversations in the midst of the insane polarized culture that we find ourselves living in. So make sure you check out the next part as well as all of other episodes. We'll see you in the next one.